All right, guys, thank you for joining me today. Anyway, sorry, reading the comment section. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Not so much to unpack, a couple things to talk about. This is not going to be too long today or this morning. Loretta, thank you for the 5x5. And Dobie, first coffee first, sorry. Mr. Landfill, Tony, 2 Tim 3, Barrage, or Bajar. Jeffrey, thank you for the 5x5. Sway, thank you for the 5x5. W, Lou, thank you for the 5x5. So, yeah, that beeper thing was crazy. And the more information that comes out about it, I'm like, yo, that was some bananas. I mean, listen, everybody knows that kind of thing could have happened. It's been in movies, it's been in these spy espionage movies, but to actually see it unfold, or yo, crazy. So I'm going to do a whole video on it, and the video I do on it, I guess I'm going to put it on the Angry Prepper, but I'm going to put an edited version on YouTube and an unedited version on Rumble. And the reason why I'm putting the unedited version on Rumble is because I can show you guys the pictures of what happened to people who were wearing the beepers, or where the beepers were on them. So some people had it in their hand at the time it went off. Some people had it on their hips, like I said last night. I'm pretty sure a couple dicks were blown off. And for some reason, a child had it. Now, I don't know if a child really had it, because I think Hezbollah, Hamas, they love to throw the kid factor in there. So no matter what happens, a kid's going to die. Right? They could be in the middle of a battlefield with just dudes, and somehow a kid was there. So I think they're just using the kid propaganda at this point. But that's not to say it didn't happen. I'm very skeptical of it happening. And by the book said it's a terror attack warning, UK, Denmark, and Mexico. Wouldn't doubt that. I would also think that we would see something here as well. Being that Hezbollah did promise a retaliation of some kind, I think we're definitely going to see something around the world. I mean, not here in the United States specifically, but we are definitely on that chopping block, if you will. So, let's get into the high-tech world of blowing people's dicks off, because I think that was pretty... Listen, I am, like, really not proud, if that's the wrong word. I in a way excited. I'm like, I can't believe somebody pulled this off, and they were able to put 1 to 2 ounces of material in these beepers. That's the crazy shit. And they never went off until these people had it. So here's a bigger question. Who in the Hezbollah leadership or Hezbollah organization put this out? Because yes, Israel intercepted the beepers, but somebody in the Hezbollah military distributed these things. So, again, very, very interesting. I can't wait for this to unfold. I'm waiting for this to unfold, so yeah. So the article reads, exploding pagers that killed at least 9, injuring 2,800, were detonated with a message impersonating Hezbollah leadership, as per the report. The pagers that went off wounded thousands of Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon Tuesday. In Lebanon Tuesday, were reportedly detonated by a message impersonating the leaders of a recognized terrorist group. Hezbollah militants across Lebanon and part of Syria received a message that appeared to be sent by the group's leadership in their new pagers at 3:30 p.m. But in reality, the fake message was a trigger that set off the devices with an explosive component in the device. The message triggered the battery inside the pager to overheat and ignite the explosive. The pager, which were allegedly rigged with explosives by the Israeli spy agency Mossad, beeped for several seconds before they went off. The device killed at least 9 people, 8 of whom appeared to be Hezbollah fighters, and an 8-year-old girl. Yesterday it was a 9-year-old boy or some shit like that. Anyway, The injuries the people injured behind it were roughly 2,800. The device left a trail of small, bloody scenes throughout the country as they went off in people's pockets, bags, and hands. Now, if it was in your bag, you were pretty lucky, again, depending on where the bag was, and depending on the position of the beeper inside that bag. Israeli allegedly orchestrated the complicated attack on to take out Hezbollah's central method of communication, as the group had switched to pagers over phones to avoid Israeli surveillance at its leader's order. No shit, in February. Again, months ago. These people were sitting on these beepers months ago. Mossad allegedly intercepted a shipment of Taiwanese-made beepers before it reached Lebanon and planted 1 to 2 ounces of, I'm not even going to play myself, but it's tetranitrate. All right, let me try it. Penetrable tetranitrate, a highly explosive material, next to the battery, along with a remote trigger switch. This is according to New York Times and Sky News Arabia. The device were branded new, but it's unclear when they arrived in Lebanon and how long they've been in use. Again, they were there for months, and it was somebody in the Lebanese side who released this. So Hezbollah leadership definitely has a mole, if you will. Though, again, no one gives a shit because fuck them. Steel City, I like that. Pecker, Wrecker, Pager. Why not? So, what the takeaway from this is, Hezbollah has vowed to respond to an Israeli attack that killed multiple people and injured thousands across Lebanon, exposing a massive security breach and demonstrating the scale of Israelis' intelligence and demonstrating Israelis' reach. More importantly, their reach. Because nobody saw this shit coming. Nobody. That is the craziness about the whole thing. Now people are going to be looking at their phones like, the fuck? You know? Now, I had written a short story a long time ago about using cell phones as an explosive device by overcharging the batteries and having the batteries go pop. Now, this was after, was it the Google phones? Whatever cell phones went off, remember they were exploding, the batteries were exploding, and that's when I came up with the short story. I didn't know that they were going to do this on a grand scale, or that they could do this on a grand scale. And the simple fact, guys, that they intercepted these pagers for months. This wasn't a one shipment deal. This had to be months of intercepting pagers and putting this material in each pager. Meaning they had to take the pager apart. They had to sit there with their nerd glasses with the magnifiers on it and put this material inside the beeper, close it up again, package it as new, put it back in the box, and ship it off. And they had to do this tens of thousands of times. Now, I like to know how many pages didn't go off, how many pages were duds. That's what I really want to know. And they're going to look into this, and they're probably going to find out, for those pages that didn't go off, they're going to find out where they came from and where the stop was. Ultimately, this is very, very interesting. This is some shit that was in a movie, but we're seeing it in real life. Someone said they showed it in movies. No shit, okay. I didn't see this movie. Or movies, rather. But still, interesting shit. Now, moving right along, guys. Of course, this article comes out. I read it. I look at it. I don't think anything of it. This morning, I read it again. I look at it. I go, there could be something here. So bear with me. Obama phones would also pop if they were overcharged. That I didn't know. But again, these weren't movies. But again, these were like futuristic movies. This is shit I wrote years ago, and I didn't think that they would use this as a style of attack. And again, I would see them using this as a style of attack on like one person. Like, we want to get this dude, that chick. All right, put it in the phone, put it in, in the pager. I didn't think anybody still used those. So as you've seen in the movies, you've seen it as like a one-off event, not thousands of people. I'm very impressed with this, like really impressed. And I'm not taking sides. I'm really impressed at the scope that Israel went through to do this. This is like some hardcore, dedicated shit to sit there and each pager take it apart and put an explosive material in it. Close it up, package it as new, put it back in the rock, wrap it back in the plastic again. That's some craziness. Raspberry, it doesn't matter who they paid to do the tedious work, they still got it done. Doesn't matter shit. If it's a bunch of Chinamen fucking in Israel doing this shit, it don't matter. The tediousness of it is insanity. It was in a John Cena movie also. All right, well, keep in mind this happened. They took this months ago. And it's been circulating for months. All right, so this article now I'm talking, it's a superbug crisis that could get worse. According to a study, another study done yet again, by 2050, 40 million people could have been killed by the superbug. The number of lives lost around the world due to infections that are resistant to medication intended to treat them could increase nearly 70% by 2050. That is in about 25 years, 26 years actually. And cumulative from 2025 to 2050, the world could see more than 39 million deaths that are directly attributed to antimicrobial resistance, or AMR, according to the study, which was published Monday in the journal The Lancet. The antimicrobial resistant happens when pathogens like bacteria and fungus develop the ability to evade medication used to kill them. The World Health Organization also called AMR one of the top global public health and development threats, driven by the misuse and overuse of antimicrobial medication in humans. Now, in humans, animals, and plants that can help the pathogen develop a resistance to them. Now, every time I got hurt at work, more recently at work, when I've had a window close on my finger, almost taking it off, my pinky here getting not separated, but a nice gash in it because, like an asshole, I rode into a metal door, and then other injuries that I've had over the course of a knife in the leg, over the course of just being around. Every time I got hurt, they were quick to give you antibiotics. And they would give you the antibiotics after you got injured with no signs of infection. And I'm like, and the first time I had it, which was the knife in the leg, I remember saying, why are you guys giving to me? I don't have an infection yet. Oh, take that as a prophylactic, just in case. I'm like, just in case? So I never took them. So all of the antibiotics that I ever received, I never took them. I get them filled out. I saved them for a couple of years. And then I toss them after like 10 years or whatever it was. Or 5 years, rather. I started tossing them. Now, after 5 years, can you still use them? Yes, but the potency is very, very is weak. But it can still be good for somebody like myself or people like us who don't take antibiotics every time we're prescribed to them. So people was prescribing them for everything now. Oh, you stubbed your toe on driftwood? Here goes some antibiotics. I only took antibiotics when there was an infection that developed. And I had that happen one time, and it was encephalitis. Right? And then that's when I took the antibiotics. Outside of that, I don't take it. Any injury I get, I do not take it. If I see something, I'll get the prescription filled out. And if I see an infection forming, then I'll start taking it. But outside of that, I won't. I won't deal with it. Anyway, so now they're giving this to everybody who gets injured no matter what. And they tell you to take it just to stay ahead of the curve. Stop taking it. Don't take it if you don't need to. If you're not bleeding out, if you are not developing any kind of infection, don't take it. It's a stupid thing to do. Because now look what we're faced with. Right, you saved them for rainy days. You saved them when you absolutely need it. Somebody said oregano oil. Oregano oil works as well too. But they don't want you to do that. Stumpy prepper. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they continue to do it. And even after these current warnings, constant warnings about the superbug, they still turn around and go, it's okay, don't worry about it. The fuck you should, because you're gonna be the one getting one of the superbug inside you, and then they're gonna have every last antibiotic at their disposal in your body, fucking your liver and your kidney up in the same fucking breath. Not working at all. Meanwhile, they want you to take all these arm tickets for what? Like someone said, 15 vax at your local CVS. Older adults bear the burden. Researchers from Global Research and Antimicrobial Resistance Project, the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluations and other institutes, estimated the death and illness attributes to verse associates with antimicrobial resistance for 22 pathogens, 84 pathogens that are now drug combined, and 11 infections across 204 countries and territories from 1990 from 1990s to 2021, The death attributables to antimicrobial resistance was directly caused by it, while a death associated with AMR may have another cause that exacerbated by the antimicrobial resistance. About 520 million individuals records were part of the data to make those estimates. The researchers found that from 1990 to 2021, deaths from AMR fell more than 50% among younger children than 5, but increased more than 80% in adults 70 and older. Trends that are forecast to continue, again, because these are older adults they're giving these antibiotics to. Again, they're like, so that you don't develop anything, we're going to give you this ahead of time. Now, they are doing this at senior citizen homes because a lot of the people in those senior citizen places get infections left and right. So they figure if they give it to them ahead of time, they can head that off. I don't understand it. This is all right. Anyway, it was surprising to see those patterns emerge. Not really. We had these two opposite trends going on: a decline in AMR deaths under the age of 15, mostly due to vaccination, water, and sanitation programs, some treatment programs, and success for those. Now, they're saying arm tickets. A lot of infections have nothing to do with arm tickets. A lot of infections have everything to do with just sanitary, dirty water, and a shit environment that you grew up in. The arm ticket thing is bullshit. And the reason why they keep throwing, guys, the arm ticket or vaccinations in articles like this is because they want you to get arm ticketed for whatever bullshit comes their way. For every time a kid is born, they convince parents that they need to have their kids arm ticket out the ass. Notice that we have a high autism rate here in this country. Anyway, researchers found that pathogen drug combinations that had larger increase, causing the most burden among all age groups, was, oh my God, methicillin resistance, Streptococcus aurora. I know I messed that up, but it's also known as MRSA, or some people will call it, I guess, MRSA, if I'm not mistaken. For this combination, antibiotic methicillin, and bacteria S. aurora, the number of attributable deaths nearly doubled from 57,000 in 1990 to 130,000 in 2021. Basically, guys, the article is stating stop taking fucking antibiotics when you don't need it. Period. That's what it comes down. Streptococcus. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong too. So anyway, moving right along, guys. We got a couple minutes. Yeah, we got a couple minutes. Now, this article, I'm not reading the whole thing. There was an article I wanted to get to because I think you guys would get a kick out of it. There was actually two articles. So let's see if we can cover them in a shorter amount of time. All right. First article is, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Man 27 dies after receiving the Mr. 19 arm ticket he was wrongly invited to take by the NHS. A man who died 3 weeks after receiving the AstraZeneca Mr. 19 arm ticket was given the vaccine despite not being eligible. A probe into the failings linked to the death of Jack Last. That's his last name? Oh shit. Jack Last, a young man who died in April 2021 from a blood clot linked to the AstraZeneca arm ticket, revealed that the 27-year-old was wrongly called up early for the arm ticket by his GP. I don't know what that is. And so did not receive a jab deemed safer for under 30 years. Under 30s. That I don't understand why they said it that way. The report of his death was a consequence of combination of system shortcomings, human error, and the tragic, unfortunate timing. Meaning he might have... Okay. It seems like he didn't have any health issues, but they keep stating he was wrongly called up early for an arm ticket by his GP. Then they state again the tragic, unfortunate timing, meaning he must have gotten a bad batch or a batch with a higher strength of arm ticket in it, and that's what wound up killing him. Anyway, these failures, according to the report, also included a lack of urgency into getting him a CT head scan treatment for possible blood issues and a misdiagnosis of a scan once it had been done. The 3-year-long investigation into his death, carried out by somebody's consulting company, found Suffolk GP Federation was forced to expand the number of people receiving AstraZeneca arm ticket amid fear over arm ticket wastage at the height of the pandemic. Let's see. Sorry. Days before his arm ticket, on March 30th, GP service had received a large delivery of the arm ticket that was due to expire within the next few days. So they rushed this guy, Mr. Last, not being eligible for the arm ticket because he was not clinically vulnerable, nor was he living with clinical vulnerable people. He was invited to have the arm ticket and was given the AstraZeneca version. That's very interesting, that part. He was not eligible for the vaccine because he was not clinically vulnerable. So that means they gave him a stronger dose? I don't get it. Anyway, at the time, the government continued to publish the guidance for the arm ticket, that the benefit of the arm ticket, Mr. 19 jab, continued to outweigh any risk, and blood clots have been reported in less than 1 in a million at the time. You don't want to be that 1,000,001. 6 days after receiving the arm ticket, Mr. Last began to get ill and was experiencing severe headaches, sometimes with vomiting and visual disturbance. However, the CT scan in which a blood clot was visible was not reported by the hospital radiologist, and he had not received treatment until a day after the hospital admission. He died on the 20th of April after sustaining catastrophic brain damage. Interesting. They keep focusing on the kind of arm ticket he got and when he got the arm ticket. They keep focusing on that, meaning that this is a message for somebody else to receive. Other than that, he seemingly got a dose that was delivered for another group of people, not him. And they keep saying vulnerable people, which is leading me to believe this batch was a killer batch and it was purposely designed as so. Again, that's my conspiracy theory brain kicking in. All right, now, a lot of you remember that Venezuela dude that was on TikTok and he was flashing money. He had low cut hair, and he was telling people to go into their homes, go into abandoned homes and take them over. He was finally deported, or rather, he's being ordered to be deported. Now, a lot of people were like, yes, good karma. The problem with him being deported is he'll be back. Right? So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but a lot of you know the kid's name was Monetto. I think it was Joseph Monetto. He was a TikTok star that was making all that money. Well, he's being deported, and yeah, fuck him. That's the gist of it. Now, here's another article I found interesting. There is a new XEC Mr. 19 variant starting to spread, and it's starting to spread in Europe right now. They saw it in Germany in June. It made its way into Denmark. It's in the it's in the UK right now. They think it's going to reach the US in several days. Now, it's another variant, and this variant has letters to it. XEC, X-ray, Eddie, Charlie, right? And I don't know why they keep making these subvariants more menacing with these shit acronyms, or not acronyms, but letters they give them. But here's the funny thing about this whole nonsense. As I'm reading the article, I get down to the part where they go, what are the symptoms of XEC? High temperature, fever, aches, pain, tiredness, and a cough or sore throat. That is the same symptom to every variant of Mr. 19. They acted like this one had a special ailments or special symptoms. It didn't. And they want people to now, because of this new variant, they want people now to take the arm ticket because it shows that it will save more people from getting, at the very least, sick. So, of course, guys, every year now, there's going to be a new variant. There's going to be a new nonsense. And they always back each article up with, make sure you get arm ticketed. I was reading this article almost in astonishment because I was just like, seriously? We're doing this? We're trying to scare people into taking an arm ticket by putting an X in it because people are intimidated by the letter X. Apparently, that was a study done a long time ago. So anything with X makes it more, not so much intimidating, but more exciting because of the letter X. And the letter X is contributed to a lot of exciting things like the movie Triple X or X Games or pornography with the X, right? So anything with X is considered to be more exciting in that way, except for the word xylophone. But even X-ray has an exciting attachment to it, right? So when you see the letter X, people are like, oh shit. So of course they come out with this variant and they call it XEC. By design, psychologically designed to get people to go, oh no, this is more serious. When you put X next to things, it gives things an exciting tone to it. And this is a psychological thing. So, of course, they put this in here. They released this report, and then they followed up by telling people, get your arm ticket by autumn, by the fall, so that you don't get sick with this new variant. They're full of shit, guys. It's all full of shit. It's a ploy. It's all it is. It's always going to be a ploy. And people fall for it. Old people are reading this article right now going, oh my God, Harry, there's an XEC COVID out. We need to take the... And they're going to run to the nearest CVS now and get the new, because there is, in the article, they talk about an updated version to handle this variant. They have a new arm ticket for each variant that comes out now. Good luck for those of you that are still taking these. Seriously, I hope your vagina doesn't seal up and your dick falls off, because that's the direction you're headed in every time you take one of these things. Anyway, guys, with that being said, I'm going to go off the air now. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. I will see you guys later tonight. I might cancel later tonight. I'm not sure yet with the Angry Film Critic, but as it stands right now, it's still on. All right, guys, so see some of you guys later. Thank you.